We're a loving group.
We all friends.
The Board of Park and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri meeting for March 19th, 2024 is hereby called to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Contreras.
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Present.
Commissioner Garetz,
Here, present.
President Hayden.
Here.
And Director Cotton.
Here.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the February 27th, 2024 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
Madam President, I motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, item's passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32436, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival for the use of Southmoreland Park for the 2024 Shakespeare Festival from June 11th through June 30th, 2024. Rob Loya, Events Administrator, is here to speak on it.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. Yes, this is the annual Shakespeare Festival, Southmoreland Park. The KC Parks is a partnership with them, requesting approval.
Any questions for Mr. Loya?
Great event. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32437, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement for the use of Brookside Court Park and Brookside Boulevard to hold the art annual on May 3rd through May 5th, 2024. Mr. Loya.
Thank you. Yes, the Brookside Art Annual and annual events. Any questions?
Another fave.
Yes, very popular.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32438, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with One World LLC for the Water Lantern Festival at Brush Creek and in the Wheeler Amphitheater on May 18th, 2024. Mr. Loya.
Yes, another annual one-day event, really popular family event. Really surprised it's only one day. Any questions?
No questions, move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32439, considering board approval of an agreement with Cafe for the use of Columbus Square Park to hold the AANHP Identity for AAPI Heritage Month event on May 11th. Mr. Loya.
Yes, another all-day event at Columbus Square Park, becoming an annual and a one-day event. Any questions?
Yeah.
Big fan of
Celebrating
Jackie.
Asian American Pacific
You haven't
Islander
been to
Heritage Month.
Cafe.
Rob, I didn't.
Definitely try it.
What-
Oh,
what
it
is
celebrates the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
You were saying, though?
No, big fan of Jackie and that whole block of women
Yes, that is
entrepreneurs. So move to approve.
And Jackie is a former commissioner as well.
He is.
Oh.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item's passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32440, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with KC Night Market for the use of Gillum Park to hold the 420 Field Day, a nostalgic outdoor sports event on April 20th. Mr. Lloyd.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. This is a newer event. I've never had this one. A little bit of a newer submitted event too. It's just going to be a day long, what they described to me as a field day for more adult oriented. They'll be shopping with the group that's sponsoring this, Gillum Park, arts and crafts, athletics and sports for adults to participate in. Just a fun day for adults.
KC Market is actually, I've attended a couple of their events. They do pop up around. So
Yes.
it's a wonderful, it's a very smart and innovative way to connect adults. So love that. Were you going to say something?
Sounds good.
Moved, right, it's fun. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32441, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with Juneteenth KC for the use of the Great Lawn and Parade Park and the Greg Kleiss Community Center to hold the 10th annual Juneteenth events. Mr. Loya.
Yes, an annual event, wonderful event. Two, actually, that we sponsor in partnership with. The parade on the 1st of June, then there's a week between, and then there's the actual festival on the 15th. Casey Park's the sponsor of the event. Any questions?
And I just want to make sure I understand, this is for the next 3 years that we'd be
Yes, it
approving
will
this,
be.
so-
I'll present a memo every year
Okay.
for the event, but it is continuation of the MOU.
Love this event.
Yes.
Glad to see the partnership is continuing to thrive. I think every year it gets better, so.
Yes, wonderful group.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32442, considering board approval of a facility use agreement with Dennis Giangreco for the use of Tice Park to hold First Sundays concerts in the park on various dates. Mr. Loya.
Yes, they'll start in April, first Sundays, contingent on weather through September. It's about a 3-hour park concert, free. Just something nice for the community. People seem to really enjoy it. Has a long history with the Parks Department. Any questions?
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, this item's passed. Next item is resolution number 32443, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with Kids Community Growing Prosperity for the use of the Swope Park Bandstand to hold their annual Kansas City Greek Festival on June 22nd, 2024. Mr. Loya.
Yes, Greek community annual event at Swope Park, one day. Just a lot of activities for the Greek community to come together and celebrate their culture, and been doing this a long time with Casey Parks.
And just for clarity, when we say Greek, it's not necessarily nationality, but the Divine Nine.
Yes.
So just for clarity and for the record.
Sorry.
You didn't say anything
American
wrong.
fraternity
Yeah.
system.
So, once again, another great partnership.
Yeah, Stanley Taylor, great kid.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32444, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with the Caribbean American Association of Greater Kansas City and the Authentic Caribbean Foundation Incorporated for the use of Washington Square Park to hold their Caribbean American Cultural Extravaganza on June 7th, 2024. Mr. Loya.
Yes, this was a new one. Washington Square Park. It's an all-day food and crafts festival. Washington Square Park's becoming very popular, but this is just a one-day event. Any questions?
No?
No questions. Approve.
Second? Is that a second? Sorry.
You're just ready to approve it. Get it going.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item's passed. Last one with Mr. Loya. Resolution
Thank
number
you.
32445, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with O'Neill Events for the use of Washington Square Park to hold Boulevardia on June 14th and June 15th.
Yes, the annual Boulevardia event coming back this year, Washington Square Park. Same as every year, pretty much. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Great event.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm excited to see Hanson there.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Really, this
Are
year?
they older?
That's-
I
yeah,
know who
they
Hanson is.
My sister had like 100 Hanson posters in her room at one
Oh, she's
point.
gonna be front row.
I'll listen to a Hanson song or two.
All right. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32446, considering board approval of facility use without concessions agreement with the Missouri Wolverines Youth Organization for the use of Himes Park for purpose of its youth flag and tackle football program. Jennifer Jett, Superintendent of Community Services, is here to speak on it.
Thank you. So we are starting up our facility use agreements for athletics for the year, so you'll see a lot of these start to come through. So this is one of the first set with the Missouri Wolverines. They're going to be at the park from April 27th to November 15th. Any questions?
So we've been having these conversations. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
So as you kind of present these, can you give some clarity on, so this is totally kind of just giving them access. This is not where our scholarship program or anything would come into effect.
Correct.
This is them,
It's a
their
private
team.
group, private
Yes.
group.
Their private group.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily disrupt other use of it. Maybe other kids on other teams will play this team. Like,
Yes.
they're just trying to get access to you. We were just talking about just making sure that there's utilization and
Yes.
scholarship. So this is separate from that. And
Yes.
this is a private group. Okay. Thank you. All right. I don't have any other questions.
Again, motion to approve.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item is resolution number 32447, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Nikki Fit LLC for the use of Southeast Community Center to host 90-minute cardio classes. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. So just briefly, this is a new partnership for us, brought to us by our new center director at Southeast Community Center to provide these classes. They are free of charge to the community. So they will be going on Saturdays from April 13th to December 21st.
These were wonderful classes. Nikki used to offer them at Blueford. Really popular, really great instructor.
I saw they're live streamed as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay, Tila. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32448, considering board approval of amendment number 2 with Word of Faith Church for the use of Southeast Community Center to conduct church services. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. So this is just an extension of their previous contract, which expired at the end of March, extending it to the end of June. And yes, I did ask that question, why are we only extending it for 90 days? And I was told it was based on their finances, so we obliged.
Ms. Jett, can you talk a little bit about, I was talking with Commissioner Grants earlier, just what are the requirements we have of a church operating out of a community center in terms of, like, aren't there some requirements like they can't have promotional material outside of the room they're renting and things like that? Or-
Yes, so primarily they rent at Southeast and we're Mary Williams Neal, and it's basically like they can't be out and about in the community center. They can use the room, but there's no signage or basically trying to recruit for their church. They're just using the space, and then that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this one?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. All right, next item is resolution number 32449, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreements with University Academy for the use of Holmes Park for youth softball. Ms. Jett.
All right, so just similar to our other facility use agreements, this one will run from April 2nd to May 31st, so it's somewhat of a shorter one for the spring.
Any questions?
No questions. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That was passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is resolution number 32450, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Heart of America Jesneriad Society for the use of the Lewis Park Garden Center to conduct monthly meetings and to sell items from which the city will receive 10% of all revenues from sales. Stephen Van Ryn is the sponsor.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, or good evening. Just real quick, I'd like to introduce myself to at least 3 of you who've never met me before. I haven't been up since you've been here. So I'm Stephen Van Ryn, the Environmental Manager. I'm over Forestry, the Conservation Corps, Lewis Park, and Lakeside Nature Center. And so this is one of our annual renewals of agreements with the garden groups that use Lewis Park Garden Center. They have monthly meetings that are open to the public and act as a educational opportunity for the public as well. And they have an annual sale where they sell some of their plants and do a show on their plants.
I have a question about, it doesn't specifically say on a couple of these things, the 10% of all the revenue goes to us. Is that of the gross or of the net?
Gross.
Gross?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any questions on that one?
All right, can I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, but that's the gross or net.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, this item's passed. We're going to do a few more of these. Next item is resolution number 32451, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Show Me African Violet Club for the use of Luce Park Garden Center to conduct monthly meetings and to sell items from which the city will receive 10% of all revenue from sales. Mr. Van Ryn.
Yes, just very similar to the last one, long-standing agreement with the Show Me African Violet Club. And they do very similar work that the other groups do there.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item's passed. All right, last one here. Next item is resolution number 32452, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the African Violet Club of Greater Kansas City for the use of the Luce Park Garden Center to conduct monthly meetings and to sell items from which the city will receive 10% of all revenue from sales. Mr. Van Ryn.
Yes, another garden club. They are different from the Show Me African Violet Club. They are two different distinct clubs, but they all do African violets. So, yeah.
Nice. Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, this item's passed. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Good
very
to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is resolution number 32453, considering board approval of amendment number 1 with Olson Studio for the Brush Creek Cultural Heritage Trail Project in the amount of $22,000 and extending the contract time to December 1st, 2024. James Wong, Chief Engineer in the Engineering Inspection and Permitting Division, is here to speak.
Commissioners, this is a DP amendment one with Olson for Brush Creek Cultural Heritage Trail Project. So that project will install about 12 plazas along Brush Creek between the Paseo and Cleveland to highlight key events of the civil rights journey. So this is the amendment that will include the site planning, site design, lighting for those 12 sites. And out of those 12 sites, one site will be included in the MLK bridge project you just seen before. That will be one of the nodes. And the other will go into the Bruce Watkins Connector Park project that Scott is working on. So those two nodes will be putting with those two projects. Okay. The remaining 10 will be built with a separate contractor. So they will go ahead and do those plazas, concrete, and then we'll have a call for artists, going on now. So, but that's the plan.
Is that call for artists in connection with the Municipal Arts Commission?
Yes, we'll
Okay.
work with the Municipal Art Commission closely on those. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Good question.
Chris,
Trying to get
have
in.
someone
That's the city architect.
Right.
Yeah, city architect is James Martin. Yeah, we'll work with him closely on that. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Any other questions about this one?
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This item's passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32454, considering board approval of amendment number 2 with Water Resources Solutions LLC for the small local business enterprise design professional for Buckeye Greenway pedestrian improvements. Mr. Wong.
Commissioners, Buckeye Greenway is a large park in the Northland. It is north of 210 between Shoto Parkway and North Brighton. So the project will build a new pedestrian bridge across the creek in the park. We'll also do some trail improvements. The pedestrian bridge is already bid, so construction will begin in the next 2 months, and the trail enhancement will go in this winter time. So this is the amendment with the design professional to include construction observation and shop joint submittal reviews for the bridge, and we'll also do some additional geotechnical borings for the trail project. So because it's a prefabricated bridge, so the designer would just tell the contractor, say, we need to have a bridge like 100 foot long, but the contractor will have those shop joints. It will detail, the member, the span, so the designer will look at and make sure that bridge shipped to the site will fit the site. So that's the scope that we're going to add to the project.
Great. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. All right, last one with Mr. Wong is a request from the a request from the Street Naming Committee to rename Grand Boulevard from East 2nd Street to the Heart of America Bridge to Berkeley Parkway.
Commissioners, Berkeley riverfront area is booming. Barclay is always busy. A lot of new apartment complex. The current stadium is gorgeous. And the game on Saturday was awesome too. So.
Amazing. Still living it.
So the street naming committee, they're in the process of, look at all the street names, in that area. So one of the things they find out is Grand and Berkeley Parkway is confusing.
Yeah.
Because if you going, north from 2nd Street, get on the bridge, it's called Grand.
Yep.
Once you halfway almost done with the bridge, it's called Berkeley Parkway. So it's just really confusing. So this is essentially going to make that part of Grand as Berkeley Parkway. So we change the name in the block instead of middle of the block.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah, this is just a request. If you're okay with it, we're going to officially kick in the 30-day public comment period. So like a month from now, we're going to request the official resolution to change that name of Grand to Berkeley Parkway.
Oh, it's only befitting if this commissioner makes the motion.
Move to approve. I'll be happy to let them know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Great. Looking forward to seeing that one back on April 23rd then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wong.
Thank you for letting me have that one.
Well, any of them
A few
are for the
less
second.
phone calls or Twitter complaints,
You
right?
just gotta speak up,
Yeah.
that's all.
All right, I'll turn it over to Director Cotton for his director's update.
Yes, thank you. Turf replacement on the existing field at 9th and Van Brunt is underway. Honeysuckle removal is underway in Swope Park. Dredging work began at the Loose Park Pond last Thursday. The Spring Hill Park picnic shelter by the pond burned down. We are still not sure of the cause at this moment, but once released by KC Fire, we will begin the cleanup. Plans are 95% complete for the Blues Park skating rink. Project will be bid soon. Site restoration is underway for Daniel Boone Park after the Public Works 63rd Street project. Engineering met with Public Works to discuss the impact of trolley trail improvements and converting some of the existing tennis courts in Brookside to pickleball. The Park Ranger program oversaw 4 homeless camp cleanups and notified 6 other sites that they need to move on from park property. Repairs have begun on the Ilis Davis Park fountain, and fountain season preparation has begun all across our system. Fountain Day is at the Firefighters Memorial at 1 p.m. on April 16th. Concession stands at Platte Purchase, Waterwell, McHenry, Tiffany Springs, and Cleveland Park have been made ready for spring and summer baseball, softball. Midwest Pools is beginning pool preparation for the summer season. Staff worked on clearing overgrown brush at Troost Lake. Staff cleaned graffiti at Kemper Dietrich, Washington Square, Ivanhoe, Town Fork, and Penn Valley Parks. The Shoal Creek Bunker renovation project is scheduled to be complete on March 31st, and it is on budget. The Just Off Broadway parking lot has been resurfaced. The youth boxing program at Garrison is full with 25 enrolled. The program has a wait list. Spring break camps will be held at Westport, Gregg, Mary Williams Neal, Kansas City North, Tony Aguirre, and Southeast Community Center. And Brad Clay has an update on our revenues for the year.
Yeah, so each of you should have got this cost recovery sheet in front of you. So when you see pools that are our new pools, those are your Gormans, your Grove, Fudd Pool, Line Creek, and Rush Creek, or Mary Williams Neal now. So just kind of a breakdown that we do and talk about our revenues, expenses, our net, and our cost recovery. So you look at the final page there in the highlighted, you'll see that we've gone from 21% this time last year to 22% with a 1% increase. And the NRPA cost recovery for cities with populations more than 250,000 is 16.7%. So we're actually above the national average for a city of our size. So just want to share this with you. You get this through me periodically throughout the year, so that way you guys can have updates on what we're trying to do to improve our cost recovery within the department.
And I think this is so important for the community to be able to understand the balance that this department is pursuing in being, of course, a community asset, but also being a responsible agent of its resources. So thank you for keeping this to the team. I know Terrence and others put a lot of work into this, so thank you all. I have another question and comment, Director Cotton, about. So one, I want to thank the community for loving on our various parcels of park. On Friday morning, I got the call about Spring Hill being on fire, and I immediately called Secretary Houston. And so it's just another really great testament of the power of community in getting that call. Of course, the fire department and our other partners were on top of it, but it was just great because the community cares about these spaces and places. And so thank you to the community for knowing that your commissioners are definitely partners and resources in making that call. My other question is about staffing. We know in previous summers, we've really struggled with our lifeguards. And last year, we talked about a Grow Your Own program and how we were going to engage more deeply with community and support our youth in this work opportunity, but it also can be a career opportunity. And so I'm just curious where we're at with that and if you have any updates about recruitment and connection for specifically for lifeguards.
Do we have I don't have that number off the top of my head, but Donald's working on it.
Okay. About that a little bit. Thanks.
So we are just posted our lifeguard positions for the Southeast Community Center. We have our positions posted for the summer. And our new aquatics manager, Donald, has been out and about at different high schools recruiting. He is actually going to have a class during spring break. We targeted that time because that's the perfect time to have kids come through. We also had a seasonal hiring event, one for the Northland centers and one for the South centers, and that was at the end of February and early March. We had 30 people come out. We did about 20 interviews, had 10 people apply, and we continue to get people applying every week, and so we've continued to do interviews. Some of our locations are already full for summer camp staff, and we are continuing to work on lifeguards. So I don't have any exact numbers on the lifeguards, but we are working on it. Donald specifically very hard.
And Donald is awesome.
He is amazing.
I've had the privilege of working with him in other spaces. So great. I really appreciate the intentionality. I know this was a big focus, and we've talked about it. So to see this type of movement, I just want to say kudos. So thank you.
And just one more thing about Donald, he just received his CPRP last week.
Good for him.
He's a certified Parks and Rec professional now.
Very good. I love it. Upward mobility.
And if you haven't, but the new Southeast pool is incredible, and it's deep water, and I've walked the perimeter, and we are going to really be able to have a great lifeguard training program once that gets open. That pool is set up perfectly for lifeguard training.
I love
Awesome.
it.
So.
I love it. Thank you.
I also just want to note that Park social media has been advertising all of the summer camp opportunities across the system, so that's been really great. And hopefully, if you know people who are looking for summer camps, we've got a lot of great offerings. So, yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to the zoo. A few of us were able to take a tour of it and just really continue to appreciate that partnership and what they're doing. And I wasn't here for the last board meeting, and I always like to say thank you to all the volunteers. I wasn't here to be able to celebrate the ambassadors, so thank you to each and every ambassador that dedicates their time and talent. Really appreciate it.
Hear, hear. Anyone else? All right. We will now move into public hearing. We didn't have anyone sign in, but is there anyone here who wishes to address the board? Public testimony is limited to 2 minutes.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
So my name is Minister Greg Wilson. I'm with the Center for Neighborhoods. One of my titles right now is I am a neighborhood conservation and environmental steward. I had to run it, formerly known as the Hewlett Park representatives. So I have one thing for Chris, because I got blindsided last night. Did you say how far along is the Blues Park project? Because that was one of my Hewlett Parks.
The plans are, let me get back to my report, 90% done, I believe?
I think that's what I heard you say.
Yeah. So, the plans are 95% complete.
Okay.
Project will be bid soon.
Okay. You said what now?
The project will be bid soon.
Bid soon. Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you send that over to Center for Neighborhoods, because we was at a 3rd district meeting, and Wendell Phillips meeting yesterday, and we got blindsided by that because they hadn't heard anything.
Sure.
Really would appreciate that so that we can give them an idea, because reason I'm here is formerly a Hewlett Park steward. I don't know, and we were working with Chris and Parks and Recs to do the Hewlett district, which is mainly the Parks East of Truce, okay? And we did a wonderful job. We got all the stuff in. Many PIACs were written, and quite a few got approved. Our next project that we are on right now, Miss Kathy, she's one of us. We have 10 now, 10 reps for this. We're currently working with Heartland Conservation on the Woods Project. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Woods Project, but that's a project that runs from 31st and Norton, and if anybody would like to take a look at the whole project, it's right here, 31st and Norton, and it goes to 35th Street's the original portion, but we have designs running all the way down to Emmanuel Cleaver Boulevard. This was done by UMKC students, and it's on our website at centerforneighborhoods.com. It's probably $1 million worth of work done by the students last semester. Nice. Okay, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of it that the fact that MDC, Missouri Department of Conservation, has awarded us a grant. I know you're part of that grant that we will be starting in July.
I believe so.
July, working with Parks and Recs, MDC, and our neighborhoods, you know, that are basically in the Hewlett district, okay? So we're looking forward to that progress of working with y'all and working for y'all, because we will be working, because that's what the funding says. We're working for y'all too. So I just want to introduce myself, and then Ms. Persley is here. She's one of our reps, park reps, and we have more progress coming with environmental justice money to work with parks. I know you know about that with Mark. We're part of that. And we also have more funding coming from the EPA, working with neighborhoods and parks again. Okay? So Center for Neighborhoods are to be on the front, are the battleground of the grassroots of this. Okay, so if anybody would like to take a look, I can hand it around and y'all can take a look, or y'all can
look at it.
Yep.
Okay, and take a look at it. This is a very big project that we're very satisfied with. The neighborhood is engaged with this. Sorry I had to run out on you, Chris, but there was an incident that just happened. We was at a meeting. It's called the 40th and Monroe Project for the water separation, and we got hit with, they're coming in Cleveland Park to take out trees to fix a pipeline, and I didn't know if Stephen was a part of that or Parks and Recs was a part of that. They say they were, Parks and Recs was, but we, Missouri Department of Conservation, hadn't been informed of that. Okay.
Yes, if you can hand me the book, because I'm having a scoop. But I do wanna look at it.
So I didn't know if you knew about that.
We had to repair the water line to the concession stand. It was ruptured.
It was ruptured. Yeah, it's ruptured bad. I've been in the woods to check it out myself, so it is ruptured pretty bad. So I just wanted to verify that. That was another thing I had to come here, because a lot of people didn't know that that had happened, and it had been communicated to the conservation people. And so I just verified that with you, okay? So I just wanted to just step in, introduce ourselves to the new board, looking forward to our partnership coming up for the next 2 years with Parks and Recs and MDC, and how we can do better. And I need to email you, because there's a lot of parks that are questioned that were approved by PIAC, but we haven't seen no movement in it. So, like Prospect Park's new soccer field, you know, those kinds of things. So, I'll be emailing you. Been a little busy, but trying to get back on track with the park stuff, because we're getting ready to go back into it again. Thank you. Or any questions?
Ms. Rolls, thank you for your time. I mean, we can't do what we do without dedicated people like you, so thank you. And, we're all mostly new faces, or all of us are new faces, so look forward to getting to know you better and working with you. So, anyone have anything else they want to say right now?
Catherine Persley wants to speak.
Okay.
Come on, Kathy.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
My name's Catherine Persley, and I live in the Dunbar neighborhood. We have we have 2 parks in our neighborhood, but we have the only park that's named after an African-American woman, which is Yvonne Starks Wilson Park. Senator Wilson's birthday is on Friday, and we are planning a celebration on Saturday, and we want to invite all of you out to come out. So we have partnered with Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Center, Friends of the Bruce R. Watkins, to host that event. It will be a birthday celebration, but also we will be talking about our wants and desires for the park. And we know that in the 2022, when the ballot was approved for money for parks, part of that funding has now been allocated for Wilson Park, but we know that it's not nearly enough for us to execute all the work that needs to be done. So one of the other things that we are planning to do is do a private fundraising campaign so that we can supplement the $1 million that has been allocated. Community Capital Fund is going to serve as our fund manager while we're collecting those funds. It's my understanding that working with Richard that those dollars will become available in May of 2025 or approximately that time. So our goal is in the next 12 months to raise at least $500,000 to supplement that. So we've got people in the community that are already on board and making contributions. So our event on Saturday will really to talk about the plan, make people more aware of QLID, to celebrate Yvonne's birthday. And when our planning, we also found out that former Commissioner Neal's birthday is the same day. They shared the same birthday, and we did not know that.
Wow.
So we will also, one of her daughters will be there, so we'll be talking about that too. And if any of you all can come out, that would be great. We have several people from our neighborhood that are over the age of 75. There's about 40 of them that are still between 75 and 92. Many of them will be there joining us because they all knew Senator Wilson as well. Senator Wilson's sister, Miss Vivine, who will be 92 in June, has asked that we have chicken and waffles. So that will be the brunch for the day. Yes. And we will do a celebration of the life of Senator Wilson and just get to know all of you. When we want to know all of you better, because that park has a very significant history for Kansas City, not just the neighborhood, but for music in Kansas City and jazz. And so we really want to make sure that we promote those things as we go along. So we invite you all out. Anytime we're having events, you all are welcome. We will make sure that Sister Carmen knows what we're doing so that you all can get to work. Absolutely.
You get it to her,
she'll get it to us.
And Ms. Persley, what time is the event on Saturday?
It's from 11 to 2.
Thank you.
I won't be there because I'll be out of town. I have a planned visit out of town, but I will say I had the pleasure to meet and to learn from Senator Wilson when I returned to Kansas City.
Yes.
And as the newly minted director of the Linwood Y, she invited me to her home and just her wisdom. So thank you for continuing to keep her legacy alive and her strong leadership and love for community.
Thank you.
I hate that I'm going to miss it, but I know it'll be a wonderful celebration.
Well, we're going to videotape it, so you'll be able to see it.
Yes.
Thank you. We've been fortunate enough to get an AmeriCorps Vista worker that's a videographer, photographer, who's been working with the neighborhood for a year. So all of our journey getting to where we are now and beyond will be recorded for posterity.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
Anyone else? All right. We are going into closed session. May I have a motion?
I move that we go into closed session pursuant to section 610.21 subsection 2 of the revised, can you hand that to them? Statuses of Missouri to discuss real estate.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, we will move into closed session. Thank you to all our guests for being here today. We appreciate it.